Guys, again, another Sunday, another live stream, and this time I'm in Bangkok in the comfort of my apartment rather than scrolling down the beach in Pattaya like last week. That was kind of quite fun. It was 2 hours of roaming around. I met some of the guys in the pub, and I enjoyed it, but it was very, very hot, and the picture wasn't great. I kind of watched it when I got back, and unfortunately, with live stream, the picture's never great, is it? But it was good fun. I'm actually going down to Pattaya tomorrow just for one night because Steve from Yours Travels is down there, and a guy called Nick, a viewer who I met here on the channel several months ago now. I met him down there before, and I'd like to have gone down for 2 or 3 days, but I've got commitments here. I can't stay down, and I want to meet these guys. So what I thought, I'll go down. I'll leave here about 12 o'clock tomorrow, get some food on the way down there. I've checked into a hotel for one night, and I'll leave probably 6, 7 o'clock the following night. I used to think one night in Pattaya is not enough because it's so short, but it's a 2-hour drive each way. And yeah, if you stay all day, the next day, and the hotel's got a car park, so I can generally leave my car there and everything, so it's not too bad. Right, okay, we've got 139 in as the count goes. Just a couple of minutes into the stream now. Going to start saying hello to everybody, and I've got a great story for you later about a scam. It kind of touches on this scam that I always warn you about with the take a lady for dinner and she orders so much food and then she bags it up and takes it home to a roommate. It's kind of on these. I'm just looking at my clipboard here, old school. But it's something you won't believe what happened to this guy. He sent it in to me and said I could read it out. So I'll wait till we get a few more people in and I'll tell you about that, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'll just say hi to everybody who's in tonight. Normal crowd, guy with the best YouTube name out there, Napoleon Blown Apart. That's got to be the best name ever. Jason, how you doing? Hi Peter and the crew. Hope you had a good week. I'm looking forward to the new week. Any plans for this week coming? It's bank holiday here. Yeah, as I said, going down to Pattaya just for tomorrow and coming back on Tuesday. Anders Bergen, how you doing? Steve the Butchers, hi Peter Mongers. I won't be joining you today. There's an NFL and a West Ham play. Okay, yeah, it's a big sporting event. Max Fight, how you doing? Okay, you like the thumbnail. Believe it or not, I've started to use AI girls, artificial intelligence, and you can't tell the difference. If you go with the thumbs now, the thumbs I'm using, the girls, they're not real girls. They're made from artificial intelligence, and they're great because there's no copyright issues, and they look like the real thing, and they're beautiful, and you can make the girl look like whatever you want. Oh, you see, I'm moving into the 21st century. I'm this dinosaur image has got to go, Chris Card. How you doing, Chris? I'm glad you're here because Damien's not going to be in the stream tonight, and I don't think Franco will be in tonight. So I've already had one troll in at the beginning. He left 4 messages in capitals like a Karen would do, and I won't get into them, but he was an obvious troll, and I've blocked him now. But anyway, Ty Billy Boy, how you doing? Prince Fergus, good morning from North Dakota. Good to see you in. Let's just get these. The rates are pretty good at the moment. Let's just get these up for you. There we go. All the currencies are doing quite well towards the baht at the moment. So I can remember a few months ago, the pound, for instance, was kind of touching on 39. It was 40. It's up now, 45. So pretty good. Pretty good time to bring money to Thailand. Steve, how you doing? I know you're having a good time down there in Pattaya. Cheers, Barry. Living the dream, mate. Hope you're good. Perhaps we'll get I don't know why I play you at pool, actually, Steve, because you always beat me and it's boring just watching you put down the balls. I like to at least have a few pots, but we might have a go anyway. Right, okay, where are we? Right, Antonio, how you doing? You said you're going to bed. I hope you're still up to hear me say hi to you. I do appreciate all your emails and looking forward to your first video. Donald Trump, how you doing, sir? Good to have you in the house. Chris Brown, good afternoon all. Phil T, even Peter, I'll put that up there. Look. 10 more days before I'm in Bangkok. Not that I'm counting. The rain. I tell you what, we've had some flash floods. Actually, all truth be said, it's not been that bad this year. It does rain every day, and what I tend to do is anything I've got to do, I kind of fit it in between the non-rain showers because you can kind of predict when they're going to come. They kind of come late afternoon, early evening, and normally they pass by after sort of 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but we've had a few nights where it's just gone on, and one day last week, Sukhumvit was like a canal, it literally was water up to your knees, but it doesn't last long. It drains away when the rain stops, and so hopefully it'll be dry when you come. October should be end October. Normally the rainy season is finished. Okay. Phil T, all right, that's the one I just read. Barry from EastEnders, how you doing? Let's just get rid of this ticker. Okay, let's do a bit of online advertising there as well. Okay, Mike Braithwaite, howdy to everybody. Danny Ruby, bank holiday in Thailand or in the UK? Yeah, I think it was a bank. I didn't think it was a bank holiday here. Craig, nice to see the BHT going the BART going the right way. Yeah, it is nice to see it. It will never get back up to 79 like it was in the 90s, but it's good to see it at least making a bit of a climb there. Okay, right. Who else we got in tonight? Mr. Balding. Hello, Peter. Do you ever get the bus to Pattaya? I used to, and it's a good way to go. I've got a car now. I was very, very lucky because my friend Simon bought a company car for one of his staff, and the staff didn't work, a Farang, right? But the staff didn't work out, and they went their separate ways. And Simon just happened to have this. It's an MG3 1.5 automatic. He just happened to have it there. It was surplus to supplies, and I went over there. I will talk about the bus, but I went over there one afternoon. I was like, "Oh, whose is a car?" Because I normally go there on a Sunday, right? And he said, "Oh, I bought it for these guys, and I've got to sell it again." I'm like, "Well, how much do you want for it?" And at the time, it had about 30,000 miles on the clock, which is nothing, right? It's an automatic 1.5, tinted windows, full aircon, parking sensors, parking camera, lovely little car. And he said, "I just want what I paid for it." He paid $350 for it, and I've paid it all off now. So I drive. It's so handy being able to drive. And my daughters are coming over here next month. I'm going to be taking them to Koh Samat, so I'll drive to Rome. I'm going to be taking them to Hua Hin and looking. There's about an elephant sanctuary about an hour out, so I'll be driving all over the place. So it just gives you that freedom. But in answer to your question about the bus, let me see if I can get that up there. Right, let's put it up there. So that's from Mr. Balding. Right, yeah. The bus is a very good way to go now. You can get, if you're anywhere around anywhere, you can get the BTS down to Edgermire. Okay, that's the northern bus terminal. You've got to be very, very careful because you want to get on the government big bus, the blue bus. It's 131 baht, and what it does, it takes you to the north terminal in Pattaya, and then you can get a grab or a grab motorbike or a taxi, whatever. You don't want to go to those pickup kind of BART buses waiting, and they're touting for business, and they say, "Where you going?" Yeah, get in, and you have to sit there until they fill the bus up, and it's like a milk run. I made a mistake. I did it once. It goes around every hotel, and I was dropped off second last. So when you get to North Pattaya bus terminal, just get your own taxi. Don't go in them BART buses. But it's 131 baht. You get assigned a seat. You get a seat number. They go every 30 minutes from Edgermire, and you can put your case underneath the bus. It's absolutely safe. There's no theft or anything like that. And I've done it a lot of times in the past before I had the car. What else is there to tell you about the bus? Nothing. That's it, really. It's a good. Oh, I had one more thing to say. So when you get to go to buy your ticket, you'll see these guys hanging out of a window saying, Pattaya, bus going to Pattaya, 5 minutes. They're the small mini buses. You don't want to take them because I don't like them. I think they're dangerous. They're always crashing. If the guy's not got his foot to the pedal, he's not making money. Whereas the government buses, they're on a salary, so it doesn't matter to them, And they stop halfway down normally. Or no, that's what, and they stop halfway down for a toilet break, as it were. Right, okay, let's move on from the bus to Pattaya. Liam Stevens, you're freezing every 20 to 30 seconds. Well, I think that's going to be from your end, Stephen, to be honest with you, because I've got a very fast connection and nobody else is complaining about it. I'm looking at my connection. It's very, very good. So check your internet, your end. Ray Ross, good morning from Boston. Yeah, Catman, please don't forget to like. Yeah, I'll put that up there. Yeah, you can it doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me if you give me a thumbs up if you're watching the stream and you're happy with it. Ty Billy Boy, when the wind comes, prepare yourself for the rains. I don't know if anybody's seen those videos. They had a kind of mini typhoon down in Pattaya, and it was like whipping up all the chairs and the sand, and girls were screaming and everything. It was like a proper tornado. I mean, I hope I'm actually staying in a hotel near the beach. I'm in a different one this time because the prices have gone up in the one I normally stay at. I was staying at the Blackwoods Hotel on Soi 7, very, very nice hotel. But the last time I paid 1,800 baht because it is such a nice hotel, and I don't need this. And I just looked on the Agoda today, and they wanted 2,500. So I've checked into another hotel I've stayed in before, and I got the upgraded room to the deluxe room, which was 1,500. So that's a good price. I've got the room and it's sea facing, so excellent. Let's see. The only thing is there's a load of bars on the beach road, so I don't know how loud they're going to be if I can hear them in the room. Right, Dave Stewart says, hi, Peter. Nice to have met you in the soy the other day. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Just happened to bump into you like that. But yeah, good. I always like to say hello to people. I bump into quite a lot of people. There's a guy, I've met him before, actually. He's English. He's a lawyer, funny enough. He lives in South Korea. And I'd met him before, and I just happened to meet him again. I had a couple of beers with him. Went round to Soy 8. He was there, and good. I like meeting people. Right, geezers. Right, you're saying it's a bank holiday in Thailand, Peter. Well, I didn't know that. When is that? Must be Monday then. So people will be. If I go, oh God, it's going to be heavy traffic, isn't it? What's tomorrow? Monday. Yeah. Well, most people will go away today, won't they? If it's a bank holiday, it's bank holiday Monday, is it? Yeah. Oh, I hope it's not going to. I've never gone down to Pattaya on a bank holiday. I hope it's not going to be, right, really busy. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that name. SNY. No, I can't say it. I'll call you 123. Hello, Peter and everybody. 6 weeks, 1 day, 7 hours. Not that I'm counting. Yeah, it will soon pass. It will go very, very fast, and you'll be here. Brian Street, afternoon, all West Ham winning. Okay, as you know, Brian, I'm not a football fan, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who appreciate that. The Wutong Life. I see the Phuket hotel prices are back to normal now. So expensive for a beachfront hotel with a view. Yeah, I've booked. I booked a hotel on Koh Samat. That's the island. You can go about 45 minutes on the public boat from Rayong. All the other sort of Koh Samui and all those nice islands are all down south, on your way to Phuket. But Koh Samat and Koh Lan is kind of Pattaya. I'm not keen on Koh Lan. It's a bit like an extension of Pattaya, really. It's not that great, I don't think. It's okay for one visit. I don't think I'll go back again. I went to Koh Samat years ago, but my daughters want to experience an island, so I've said, right, okay, I've booked 2 rooms in a beachfront hotel, and it's cost me 8,000 baht for one night, because what they do, this hotel is so close to the beach, you actually pay a totally different rent. You can have a garden view, a side view, a beach, or the garden view I think is about 2,800, but if you want to have a room where you open your curtains in the morning, the beach is right there, it's 4,000, and that's what I've gone for. It's the first time they're coming here. It's a trip of a lifetime, so I don't want to be like stingy. I want them to really have a good time. Innovations. How long is this bus trip? Well, it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours to Pattaya. It just flies down there. It's no slower than going in a taxi. Richard Willie, I got the bus from Bangkok to Pattaya for 140, then paid 400 for a taxi to get across town. You're actually ripped off then, because a taxi's never cost me more than I carry a very small case, and it can actually fit in the front of a motorbike, between the guy's legs, and I normally pay 40, 45 baht. I sling in 50 baht, 400 baht to get across town. Where were you going, Rayong? Brian Street, all good, yours. Okay, Joe M, you can get a bus from, you can. They go very frequently. Bangkok Airport to Jomtien bus station. That's all right if you're going to Jomtien, I guess. But then it's pretty easy to get from Jomtien to Central Pattaya, isn't it? Right, Chippy. GM from Toronto. Thanksgiving here tomorrow. Okay, well, have a good Thanksgiving tomorrow. JP, you're freezing on mine too. Okay, so I don't know. Let me close down my email. It says I've got a really good connection here. Let me just check the speed. Hang on. That's really unusual for it to freeze here. Run speed tests. Right. Well, I don't think many people will get what I'm getting in the UK. It's 300 megabits a second. That is fast. So I don't know. It might be coincidence that you're freezing as well. I can see a very good picture here. Right, Mantel, 46 days, 23 hours and 44 minutes. Not that I'm counting. Where's everyone going? To Pattaya? Craig Mitchum, you are freezing here to be TBF. Okay, so, all right. Well, I don't know. I can't really do a lot about it other than restarting the stream, and I don't really want to do that. So we'll stick with it. I haven't got anything else on broadband that's working at the moment. TV's off. Okay. Mark Day says screen is freezing. Cryptocurrency, new guy, you keep freezing. Okay. Put that up there. I don't know if they're winding each other up now. Right. A lot of people say yes, freezing. Do you mean freezing in the UK weather-wise or the internet connection? Right. I'm just going to carry on. Right. Neil, Liam, it's the same for me. 20 to 30 second freezes. Okay. You're freezing up here in New York. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, look, let me try and refresh this. Okay, I might go off for no, I won't because I might lose everybody. Right, Toby Price. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. Free lunch. Hi Peter. I arrived from Brazil 2 weeks ago, and I took the bus from the airport, and it didn't stop at the North Bus Terminal. We were dropped off on the side of the highway. Yeah, because you took it from the airport, didn't you? If you go to the North Terminal in Bangkok, which is nothing to do with the airport. I mean, what I'm saying is, if you're in town and you take the BTS or the MRT to the Edgermere bus station, when it gets to Pattaya, it goes to the North Terminal bus station in Pattaya. If you're going from the airport, then I've never caught the bus from the airport, so I guess it, like the other guy said, it goes to Jomtien. The Wutong Life, as a Farang on the bus to Pattaya, they do charge you 50 to 100 baht for your bag, depends on the side. No, they tried that on with me. Look, you just got to fight them and tell them, no, come on, with a smile on your face. What happened with me one time, I've never had it going down to Pattaya, but one time I went down to Hua Hin on the bus, and it wasn't the huge bus, but it wasn't one of those little mini buses. I think it seated about 22 people, so it's kind of a medium bus. And going back to Pattaya from Hua Hin to Bangkok, you have to catch it from the side of the Blueport Mall. Okay, and I had a bag with me, and I paid for the ticket. The lady said, "Oh no, you have to buy another ticket because you have bag on the seat." And I said, "No, no, no, no," because when I told her, I said, when I came down here, I sat in the front, and the bag went on the floor. And she was like, "Oh, okay, then." They just try it on, But if you sort of give them a good explanation, say, "Well, no, I don't need to pay it because on the way down here the bag was there," they'll be like, "Yeah, okay, go on, off you go." Okay, lots of people saying that the picture's freezing. Okay, freezing is on my side. I can't do anything about it. A lot of questions there. What do you want? My bank number as well? How long have you lived there? And are you on a retirement visa? Was the visa progress long? Well, I've actually just released a. Oh no, that was a bank account, was it? I've actually got a visa, a chat. I've got a video on my channel about visas. There's a lady down in Pattaya that I use. Her name's Lana. The company's called Farang Visa. She's very, very good. But in answer to your questions, how long have you lived there? Well, I first got here in 1991, but I was in the hotel industry. I spent 2 years in Khon Kaen working there, opening up a hotel. And then I lived here for several years out of the hotel business, went back to the UK to raise my children. And then I came here on multiple trips. And then I've now come back again. And I initially came in on a retirement visa, but I think they're tightening up the tax rules in January. And once they tighten up the tax rules on they're going to be taxing people who they think are bringing an income into the kingdom, and they're going to be looking at YouTubers, content creators, digital nomads. They're going to be looking at, if they pay tax or not. And I think the next step after that, if people do end up paying tax, they're going to be looking at what visas are on. So I don't like to take a chance. And I'm very, very lucky. My friend Simon's got a company. He can put me on as an employee as a work permit. So I've actually got a work permit. So when they do come down and start checking everybody and working on a retirement visa and everything like that, some people will say, I've heard YouTubers say, "Oh, well, I don't need a work permit because my money doesn't come into Thailand." Well, that's not true at all, because the whole point of a retirement visa, it's all in the name, isn't it? It's because you're retired. If you're based here and you're making YouTube videos and you're getting paid, it doesn't matter where the money's going. You're actually working, aren't you? So, and they're not foolish at Thais. They know how to look into all this. So I just don't take any charges. So in answer to your question, the visa process, if you use an agent, takes between 10 days and 4 weeks, but normally about 2 weeks. Okay, right. Innovations. The sound continues, but the picture continues to stop for a second or two. Weird, really weird. Let me try and change my internet connection over. Hang on, it might be. Let me try and put it somewhere in another. And I'll tell you what else I can do. Wi-Fi on. Okay. Right. Matteo says it's surprisingly cold in Brisbane, Australia at the moment. It's usually summer. Okay. Okay. I'm glad you told me that, Jason. You said this Friday coming for the bank holiday in Thailand. So that means next weekend the roads are going to be hell. Whenever there's a bank holiday here, a lot of the Thais who go out of town, they go down south, to the islands. They go to Pattaya as well, but they go to North Pattaya and Jomtien, and they don't generally go to the main part. Right, I'm not going to talk about the freezing anymore. Lots of people saying you're freezing up. I've just changed the connection, so we'll see how it goes. Liam, You really butcher the pronunciation of Koh Samat. Okay, well, maybe you can make a video and tell us how we should pronounce it. Right, Tonto, flights up. Bear with me a minute. Right, I don't know what name that is. DL. Okay, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. Geez, Peter looks younger and healthier every live stream. What's your secret? No, I'll tell you what it is. I haven't got any secret, but I have made a real big effort to get fit now, and I'm feeling the benefits. So what I did, I went out and I bought a push bike, pedal bike, 6-speed gear, 6 gears on it with all the bits and pieces, because there's a nice park close to here called Benchikiti Park, and there's a cycle track around it, and you can really let go. There's people don't walk on it. There's no traffic. So I've got a bike. I've got a big swimming pool on the roof, and I like walking. So every single day I do one or the other. I either go out on the bike in the afternoon, and most people here, they go cycling early morning when it's cool, but I like to go out when it's hot because I like to really sweat, so I'll go out about 3 in the afternoon. There's nobody out in the park at that time. It's absolutely dead. Okay, so I've got the whole place to myself. So I either do that one day, or I'll go up and do 10 lengths in a very large pool upstairs. And if I don't do any of them, then I'll go for a 1-hour walk around the park, which I enjoy. So I've been doing that every single day for the last 2 weeks. The other changes I've made is I used to eat at night. I used to snack a lot. I'd be drinking beers and then I'd go and grab some crisps out the cupboard, or I'd eat a sandwich, something like that. Well, I've knocked that on the head now. Once I had my dinner about 6, that's it. I mean, I was starving last night, but I said, nope, you can't eat. Got into bed, and that was it. What else? And the other thing is, I didn't really want to stop drinking, so I've changed my beer over from I was drinking Chang and Leon, stuff like that, but I'm now on San Miguel Light, because apparently it's only got 100 calories in a bottle as a have got. It's a very light beer. It's 5% alcohol, but it's a lot less calories. So I've been doing this exercise. I've adjusted my diet. Things I do is I cut 2 limes in half, I squeeze them into a glass, and I've got a powder. It's a protein drink with an orange flavor, no sugar, and I put some water in a small glass with the lime juice. I put this protein mix in there, and I drink that every single morning. I've been doing that for about 3 months now as well, and I can notice a difference in my skin tone. Somebody said the other day you used to look completely different. So that's what it is. I'm not getting younger, unfortunately, but yeah, I'm just trying to make an effort now. I mean, I'm 63. I'm 64 in April. And I want to try and live long. I used to be a heavy smoker. I gave up 10 years ago. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right, Paul Hoskins. The days of 800 bar girl massage are long gone. Okay, I don't know about that, Paul. Depends where you are. Be happy, Pat. Hi, Peter. I'm looking from 11 minutes back. Can you give an idea of the artificial girl? What do you mean by an idea? What? How do you make it? Or there's loads of them out there. The AIs. You just go on them. You tell it what you want to make, and it makes them. But there's no copyright issues with them. Always get very thirsty on the streams. Right. Okay, Tonto. Used Bell travel bus before to Pattaya. Okay. Right, Robin, how are you doing? Good to have you in stream. Hey, Peter among us. Happy Sunday, lads. Yeah, Jeff Say, another regular there. It's been a while since I've been able to catch a stream. Hope your has been well. What I missed. I know, yeah, thank you. I noticed Rob was in as well earlier. Rob, the taxi driver. I can't see his comment now, but I'll just say hi to Rob, regular there. Okay, so we're still talking about the freezers. I've changed the connection. Hopefully it's a bit better now. Cohort 61, the feed is stuttering a bit. What can you do? What can you do? Good enough. I can't do anything more than I've done. I've changed the connection. I've checked everything. Seem to be okay. Right, okay, that's the first good bit of news I've here. No sweet freezing, but I'm in Jomptian. Okay, right, Andrew Hammond. Picture and sound is perfect. Thank you, Andrew. Maybe somebody's travels, I believe, very, very soon. I know you're doing a hell of a tour like you normally do. Can I see out of your travels another book? Right, let's get 6 people in now, I believe. Let me just check. Yeah, live 5 minutes, because this will blow you away. This right, Capio, how are you doing? I keep seeing a message come up. Capio is live, and every time I go to look, it's like 6 hours ago. Capio, last woman taxi driver I had from Rayong to Hua Hin. She nearly had about 5 crashes. I was terrified. Yeah, there's good and bad, isn't there? Good and bad. I just think those blue buses are so good. You know, the drivers are very experienced. They drive really well. You get your assigned seat, air conditioned, and cheap. You know, why not? Go for it. You know, I used to take taxis everywhere, and somebody said, "Why don't you take the buses? They're good." And I gave it a go. And yeah, okay, you got to get to the bus station, and you have to get there if you're not in a hurry. Right, Barry Bluebirds saying the streams no freezing. Now that's good. Okay, lots of messages about right. Lemethwich, glad you gave it up. Right, Bernie, in the house. I've no freezing. I'm arriving in Bangkok next Sunday, 15th to the 10th, and we'll contact you to meet up for a favourite Dal buffet. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe on Monday, 16th. Well, just let me know, Bernie. I'm not always available these days because I've got a lot on. You know, I do a lot of different things now. I do stuff with Simon, and you know, I meet a lot of viewers, but sometimes I can't meet people, and some people kind of take it personal and think I'm avoiding them. And I'm really not. Right, Atro Lax, is it? Joe M, yes. Bus is good if you carry a large bag from flight. You don't want to take bus. It's good if you just have a small bag when coming to Pattaya. Yeah, I was the same. A lot of people. I did a video on the airport link. I did it with Marley. We might be doing a video, me and Marley, this Wednesday. It's been a while. We did a video, the airport link from the airport. I think it's about 85 baht to get from the airport down to Asok on the BTS. You can also do it on the MRT, but we chose to do it on the BTS just because we wanted, you know, there's a view. You can't see a lot from an underground train, can you? But yeah, I think it's like anything. Once you've done it once, you'll be a bit nervous the first time. It's like when I drove down to Pattaya the first time. It's like, you know, where do I go? But SatNav's fine. You know, I use SatNav, and I don't need SatNav for Pattaya now. I go all over in the car. You know, I went over to I've got to get some new. I've got to get them to look at the engine because there's a slight. When I'm on the motorway and I pull away, there's a slight jolt. It's not really a misfire, but I want them to just put it on the diagnostics to see what it is. And I went on the website today and it says this place was open. It's on Nut, which took me about 45 minutes in the traffic to get to. And I called them. They didn't, you know, obviously they didn't answer, but I thought, well, they must be really busy. It's a Sunday, because when I looked on Google, it said they're open. Got there, bloody place was closed, was it? An hour and a half down the drain. At least I know where it is now. Real D2V changed the rules that have been like for a while. Okay. Right, people talking to each other here. Linguini, hi Peter, hope you're well. I'm very good, thank you, Linguini, very good indeed. Toby Price, Thailand has double tax agreement with 61 countries. Don't worry. You know, I don't think it's as simple as that, Toby. The thing is, people are panicking right now about this tax arrangement thing. That's this tax. You know, they're going to start taxing people in January, expats and retirees are worried to death. You know, they think they're going to lose all their pensions and savings, but there's nothing being. The only announcement they've made is they're going to start looking to tax people who earn revenue while they're here in Thailand. Okay, I personally can't see them taxing retirees. Okay, and there's going to be this treaties. You know, in this America, UK, they've got tax treaties. You know, they can't just ignore them. So let's wait until they put out some more information and tell us exactly what they plan to do, because they haven't said anything yet. All they've said is in January we're going to stop. You know, foreigners are going to start paying tax if they bring money into the country, but they haven't been specific. Yeah. Right, real do TV, real deal. Thank you. Looking into it for my dad as he retires next 6 months. Okay, I wouldn't worry too much about it, as I say, on a retirement visa. Right, Paul Hoskins, could you do some videos on how to do things cheaply in Bangkok? Yeah, what, like restaurants and stuff, Paul? I mean, because I live here now, I found a lot of cheap places. In fact, I found one on Soy 14 2 nights ago. Sukhumvit Soy 14, a huge place and really good Thai food. I wouldn't say it's cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than, say, going to somewhere on Sukhumvit. Typical. Jeff says, the video was fine before you switched it. Now it's freezing and the video is kind of blurry. That's because it's on. Let's put it back to what it was then. Yeah, let's take it off Wi-Fi. Right, I've put it back onto the other connection now. So let's see. Right, Alfreda Jim, how you doing? You and I, Jim, isn't it? You know why? Napoleon Bonaparte. Guys, look, just go with it. I don't want to turn the whole stream in. Right, it just froze for me then. Okay, good. Right, I did lose everybody now. I've changed connections now. I don't know what's going on tonight. The only other thing I can do is stick it straight into this computer on this side. If it carries on playing, I'll see how it goes now because I've stuck it somewhere else. Okay, where are you, Andrew? I'm here. Look, ooh, right. I hope it's not another freezing message. Hi, Peter. Greetings from Vegas. Nice to see you. Freezing here too, and seems to be getting worse. You're frozen at the moment. Yeah, it froze for me as well. I'm okay now. Thai legal. 800k in the bank or 65k per month for the retirement visas. I think they're going to increase that though, aren't they? Because those rules were made 20 years ago, and they're talking about either up in the money or up up in the age. We'll see. Right, the reason I'm taking so long is because I'm going to completely ignore the freezing comments now. I'm just going to carry on. Okay, thank you, Jeff. I won't read that out, but I've read it. Okay, right. Okay, so let's. Right, must be the hurricane. I don't know. Right. Okay, it's in a different connection, so hopefully it's okay. Right, let's get into this scam. So I've written this all out because I was going to just do it on ad lib, but written it out is because there's some details here and I don't want to miss them. So what this is, for a lot of times, I've always, guys will say, well, how do you know if I get a date with a Thai girl off Tinder, how do I know if she's a good girl or a bad girl? And there's lots of signs, like if she's always on her phone and you look over at a screen and she pulls it away, or, there's just lots of signs, isn't there? Well, one of the things they do, and it's an old trick of bar girls, you'll go out for dinner with them. And if you go out with a normal girl, what she'll do, she'll order a couple of dishes, like you would order a couple of dishes. So you go into a Thai restaurant and, you'll definitely order some rice, maybe some spring rolls, maybe a chicken Penang guy or some Penang guy and a vegetable dish. I don't know. And that's it. And normally the girl will do the same, but she'll order normally one dish and rice or a soup and a dish. And that's normal, right? But what they do, the ones that are at it, as it were, they'll go into the restaurant with you, any restaurant, outdoors or, cheapy or medium, whatever. And what they do, they order so much food. They've got to have like 10, 12 plates in front of them. The guy's thinking, why the hell has she ordered all this food? And then she leaves it. She can't eat anymore. And of course, the guy gets angry because you think, well, I've got to pay for all this now. What the hell did you bloody order it for? And it's a scam because what they do, they order all that food because they know at the end of the meal, she can bag it all up, take it back to all her friends, her roommates, okay? And they all do it. So, they don't have to buy food then. The dumb Farang buys it, doesn't it? And they order good dishes, like fish and prawns. And, if they're buying it for themselves, it's going to be cheaper stuff like, rice, noodles, some vegetables, stuff like that. Maybe one meat dish, but when you're paying for it, they can order what they want. So that's the scam. So I've had a guy write to me who's had one worse than that. And I'll just read you out what he wrote to me, okay? So he put, I'm in Bangkok now and just last night got scammed so easily. I saw it coming, but it was too late. I met a girl, 37, on Thai Friendly, told her my location, she said the usual stuff. Long story, but I was scammed by her so easily. Now, this is a guy who's here now, right? Basically, she whisked me into a taxi to the Thai restaurant, ordered everything you can think of, plus red wine at 2,500 baht a bottle, saying I only drink that. Now, bar girls don't normally drink red wine. Chemistry was brilliant, etc. I paid a big bill, and then she said there is a show on in walking distance. Would you like it? Claiming she wanted to go. 5 minutes walk, we were in, dancers on, etc. She ordered a bottle of wine and again red and they bought food as snacks. Nothing much, melon, pineapple, and little other bits and bobs. I noticed a Thai man sat on the same table as us. She said he's the manager. Anyway, after one bottle of wine, she was given all the right signals, dancing, etc. Contact time came, the time to leave about 12 a.m. The bill came. I was in shock. 12,500 baht. Okay, ridiculous. She said, "Don't embarrass me, darling. It was way out of my money. I had to go to the ATM." So I thought, anyway, she's coming to my hotel, so you pay for what you get. No taxi driver came. I got in. She didn't. She said, saying her daughter was hungry at home, and told the taxi driver to drop me off at the hotel. The Thai guy came out, side with her, in changed civilian clothes, obviously her boyfriend. Can you see how it happened? I think the boyfriend bought a fake bill and just gave her it for me to pay. So well and truly done up like a kipper there. But it is a scam. You've got to watch out for these. I was talking, the guy I met the other day at the end of the street, similar thing happened to him. He likes a challenge, and he went to Hooters, and everyone told him, okay, look, you can't get the Hooters girls because they just don't go out with customers. And he's a guy's, you tell him that, and he's like, right, well, I'm going to go for it. And he was chatting at this same Hooters girl all the time. And one day he said to her, look, after work, can I take you for a meal? And she was like, yeah, I know a great place, and I'll show you where it is. And this Hooters girl took him to this restaurant, and same for him. She was ordering all these bits and pieces. He went to the toilet and she ordered a bloody lobster, okay? And they're not cheap, even in Thailand. So, he gets the bill, and he told me it was about 8,000 baht. But, at the end of the meal, she just said, well, I got to go, and thanks for the meal. I'm buying. He was 8,000 baht down, So if you take a girl for dinner here and she starts, trying it on, just tell her straight, say, oh, whoa, hang on a minute. Are you going to eat all that? And just, it's a great sign. Right. Okay. Let's see what people are saying. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to skip the ones about the thing freezing. There is kind of somebody's asking if there's a thunderstorm in Bangkok. There isn't one here at the moment. I can't hear anything. But my friend sent me a video about half an hour ago from Royette, and it was absolutely throwing it down in Royette. Okay. Peter, Thai Legal Protection. Peter did a great bank account video. Yeah, I opened a second bank account. I've made a video. I've released it to members. When I got here, I opened an account with Bangkok Bank. The agent did it for me. And somebody, I'm not going to give it away. Somebody told me, so why don't you open a second bank account? I thought, well, why do I need a second bank account? And they told me an idea, and I thought, hang on, that makes a lot of sense. So I went along to Lotus on Rama 4, this big shopping mall, and they've got a branch of K Casacorn Bank, but everybody calls it K Bank now. And surprisingly, it was quite easy to do by myself. I didn't need any agent or anything. As long as you got the right documents, and none of them are hard to come by. And they opened it up for me. I've got online banking with them now. I've got the app, and yeah, I've stuck some money in there, and it's great. I'm going to release that to everybody probably when I get back from Pattaya on, I think, Wednesday. But it is out for the members at the moment. Okay, we've got some, it looks like Thai Legal Protection has got his own consultancy going on here in the background. Paul Hoskins about the scam. He says, just give her 200 baht and tell her that's all you got for dinner. But the problem is, Paul, it's not going to be a problem for her, is it? Because you've invited her for dinner and she end up and say, well, I've got to go now. And you're going to be left with that bill, aren't you? And you can't tell the restaurant that. I honestly think what it is, like that Hooters girl, she probably does it regular. And I think what it is, she's probably got a deal going on with a restaurant. They probably say to her, look, for every 5,000 baht the guy spends, we'll throw you 500 baht. Now, bearing in mind, your waitress, shop worker, or whatever here earns about 300 baht a day. That's a standard Thai wage. Forget what the bar girls tell you. It's about 300 baht a day. So, if a girl in Hooters is able to do that twice a week, and she gets an extra 4,000 baht a month, that's certainly increased her salary, isn't it? I'm pretty convinced that's why. Why would she take you to a restaurant and order a lobster or a bottle of wine? The money goes on the bill. Why would she do it? She must be getting a kickback, right? And I think there's a lot of them that do that. There's a lot of scams around at the moment, a lot more than there was before COVID. It seems to be getting really bad at the moment. It's almost like they don't want foreigners to come here. Right, let's get down to some of the latest ones here. Paul again. Walk into a restaurant drunk, they will try to pad the bill. Well, they try to do that anyway, Paul, don't they? Right, Steve. Well, you're just live and learn. Always meet a place you want to meet for a few hours and gauge her. Yeah, I mean, some people think because you meet a girl on Thai Friendly, she's automatically a good girl, and there's a lot of scammers on there as well. Peter says, never go on a first date to a restaurant. Meet for a coffee or a few drinks and pay as you go. Yeah, excellent idea. Right, Robin. Hooters girls in Bangkok are regular girls. They're not bar girls. They just work in a sexy setting. You have to woo them and treat them well. Well, that's why they become a challenge. I actually got talking to I was in Soi 4 and I went to Hooters because I didn't want to be bothered by these girls. I wanted to meet somebody, a friend of mine. I said, look, we'll meet in Hooters because I can go on my mobile phone and answer my comments and everything like that, and peace and quiet. And it was quiet, and one of the waitresses was hanging around. I got talking to her, and she's a nice girl. And I said to her, I said, look, honestly, I want to ask you something. I said, how many guys come in here and ask you for a date? And she was laughing. I said, no, come on, I just want to know. I mean, I'm an old guy, you're a young, pretty girl. There must be a lot of guys who ask. And she said something like 2 or 3 a week, serious offers. And I said, well, are they old guys, young guys? She said, no, they're normally young guys, good looking, and a lot of the guys who do it, they're kind of full of themselves. It's like, well, she won't say no to me because I'm so handsome, sort of thing. And they do say no. And but a lot of guys see it as a challenge because it's like, well, Hooters girls can't go out. A lot of younger guys see it as like, well, let's see if she can refuse me, and sometimes I suppose there are guys who go on dates with Hooters girls. They're only human after all, aren't they? The Wutong Life, girls using a food scam, that's been around for a long time. It has, and that's why I've mentioned it on the channel for a long time now. But I just wanted to read this out because I thought it was quite funny, actually. Not funny, haha, but funny how she did it a lot worse. Okay, let's have a little break now. Let's do something just to break it up a little bit. Let's see what I've got for you here. Yeah, let's do this one. What is it they say only in Thailand? Who remembers this?
Listen to this. Honey, what do you want to eat for dinner?
Lasagna.
He's gonna have rice.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, all right, let's get serious again. Don't need them. Right, oh, where are they going? Hang on, I'm getting my wires mixed up here. Right. Where are we? Jesse, how you doing? Good to have you in the stream. I thought you'd be asleep at this time. What's up, buddy? I made it. Good to have you in, Jesse. I know I always appear like I'm being evasive, but I don't know why. You just happen to catch me when I'm in the middle of an edit or I'm just going out the door or just getting on the bike or something. Honestly, Matt, I'm not doing it on purpose, really. Right. Where are we? Let's get back to some of these. Barry Bluebird, like the evening video, Peter, may be worth doing another with Marley. Of you, so people don't see you laugh out loud. Like the evening oh, okay, thank you very much. No, I didn't really get that. Let me say that again. I like the evening video, Peter. Maybe worth doing another with Marley. Oh, I get you. You mean like out and about, roaming around? But I'm not going to take it to Pattaya, that's for sure. I'll be well out of pocket. Prawns TSC, is it? It happened to me in Germany. I took a German girl out to dinner. Tells me during she has a boyfriend, not before we left. Doesn't matter where you are. Yeah, it's bloody cheek of it, isn't it? Letting you buy a dinner and say she's got a boyfriend. Prince Fergus, scammers. Scammers are universal. No matter where you go, they make it harder to trust the good girls. Always be on your guard, no matter what. It is. Even probably worse. It's just you know, a lot of guys come here and leave their brains on the aircraft, don't they? You know. Joe M says it might be a restaurant scam where the person who works at the restaurant is in on the scam. The lady runs up the bill and gets a cut of it. Yeah, I mean, if it's a worker in a restaurant, I think it would be quite difficult to do, wouldn't it? What's going on? And obviously, you know, if I owned a restaurant and I seen, you know, lobsters coming out on this table where I don't normally serve too many lobsters, I'd be calculating the bill as all the food's coming out. And if that money wasn't in the till at the end of the night, so I'd be more inclined to think it was the owner of the restaurant rather than a worker. Deke, how you doing? Good to have you, mate. Peter, are you not having a few brew drink? Yeah, we're gonna do the member stream, because what happens when I go for 3 hours, I start drinking. By the end of the second hour, I haven't got a high tolerance for drink. I start slurring, you know. I don't want to be known as the YouTube drunk, even though I am. So what I do, I tend to stay off it for this stream. 10:30, this is over. Have a 5-minute break, and then I'll start, and I'll have a nice drink on the side, and yeah, that, you know, I hope that answers your question. Normally I can hold my own then. Right, okay, let's get down to some of these latest ones. Is there one thing you need from the UK you can't readily source in the Thailand? It's a good question. These days, it's quite easy. They've pretty much got everything here. I can't think of anything, honestly, that you can't get here in Thailand that you can get in the UK as far as food goes. You can order, food off Lazada. That's like Amazon in the UK, right? I mean, I order HP sauce, tin potatoes, Coleman's mustard, sugar-free biscuits, cornflakes, Rice Krispies. You know, I can get it all. There's Villa supermarkets are a little bit pricey these days, but you can go to Villa, you can get Marmite, Branston pickle. You know, so food-wise, I can't really think of anything that I can't get. Toiletries you can get. Some of the stuff's expensive compared to the UK. My biggest gripe, as you know, is deodorant, because in the UK you can get a can like that for about £1.50 from one of these budget stores, you know, Pound Savers, them sort of places. Out here you'll get one that size, and it's the equivalent to £4, $5, and you shake it, it's like, is there anything in there? I went to Watson's the other day. They've got one called Gatsby. It's about that size, but again, that's about £4. So you can pretty much get everything here. Some things are more expensive than others. The thing I miss really about the UK and shopping is it was nice to go into somewhere like you know, a big mall supermarket, and I could go in and look at the shirts, and they'd have my size. They'd have my size in trousers. Here it's very, very difficult to get your size. I mean, even without the weight, I'll take this off. Look, you can see. I mean, I'm 6'6", and I'm quite a big guy. I don't really look it on here, and it's so hard to get clothes. I mean, I brought a load of clothes out with me, but when it's time to shop here, it can be difficult. But other than that, no, I mean, you can pretty much get everything here now, and some things are real cheap. When I came here, I bought a 55-inch screen, flat screen TV, and it was like £250. Brilliant, you know. This brand, I never heard of the brand before, but it works. I've had it now 6 months. It's great picture. Chippy, had a similar thing happen to me at Outback restaurant. Girl ordered another steak meal for takeout while I was in the restroom. There was no second day. I mean, they're just taking the piss, aren't they? Basically doing that. Well, you know, She orders a second meal for herself, and she doesn't even have the decency. Most guys would say, yeah, if she said, look, I don't have a lot of money. This is great. Do you mind if I order another one so I can have it tomorrow? Most guys, I would say 99% of guys would say, yeah, go for it. None of us are that hard up, right? But to do it while you're in the bathroom, I mean, it's really under the, it's just not on, is it? Right. Arto Lax, you must be smarter when you meet someone from different apps. It's easy to be scammed when so many beautiful girls want to meet you. Yeah, it is. You've got to be very careful. I did a video. It was one of my first videos, actually. It was called 20 ways to find out if your girl is a good girl or a scammer, basically. And I go through 20 points of things to look at, like her phone and lots of things. It's one of my early videos. If you're interested, you go back and have a look at it. Bart SPL, I picked up a woman in Sugar nightclub. She told me she wasn't a working girl, ended up asking me for money, and went to an underground club where she earned commission from my entry. Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, Thai girls who go into nightclubs in Pattaya on their own, normal Thai girls don't do that. I mean, not they don't go to Pattaya to go into nightclubs. I suppose the younger girls in Bangkok, of course, they go out with their friends to nightclubs, but they're normally nightclubs. They're not in tourist destinations like Pattaya. Richard Harris, never bought a lobster, brought a whole duck once, and it made the girl carry it back to the bar. All right. Steve, the only time to buy food is morning if they haven't earned it, right? Yeah, nothing like a good fry up in the morning. That breakfast bap you had the other day, Steve, Jesus, was bigger than my full English when I'm down there in Kunz. I've got no backhanders coming here, no commissions, no affiliations. But if you're in Pattaya, go to Kung's for breakfast. Okay, it's the best breakfast in Pattaya. Everybody will tell you that. Not only are the sausages great, but you get the choice of 6 different sausages. It's very difficult to get a seat in there in the day, and normally you'll get a guy on a table on his own. And I've done it, and I've said, "Look, do you mind if I sit here? Because there's no table." Like, yeah, have a seat, mate, no problem. And I've been the other way around. I've been on a table by myself, and some hungry dude has walked in and said, "Oh, there's no tables. Do you mind?" I'm like, "No, have a seat, mate, have a seat." And you get talking where you're from, and it's quite good like that, But honestly, if you're going to Pattaya and you haven't been there, go and have a breakfast at Kung's. It's fantastic. I think everybody will back me up on that one. Ricardo, if a girl did the food scam on me, because I'm paying for it, I'd be tempted to get the restaurant to bag it up and take it home for myself. That's actually a very good idea. You could do it and be spiteful, couldn't you? She really, and she didn't eat it before she had a chance to say anything. You say, "Well, are you not going to eat all this?" She said, "No, I'm not that hungry." You say, "No, that's fine. Excuse me. Can you bag all this up? I'm going to take it to my friends." You give it to the bar girls outside your hotel, right? That's a great idea. Try that next time. Paul Hoskins, after a night out, the Thai girl wants to eat from a vendor, and you end up sitting on a tiny stool on the street. No, I don't think there's a lot of Thai girls love fruit, don't they? And it's like they do like to stop. Even in Pattaya, you see these guys pushing these little glass trolleys with watermelon and all these different fruits in there, and they chop it up and they put it in a plastic bag. It's like 20 baht or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Bangkok dangerous. Here we go. What about having them cook it up for you in the morning? Yeah, I like the other idea about saying that's okay. I'm bagging it up and taking it home and giving it to some other girls. Monga Minute, Pete, Javier. No, the Monga Minute's finished for the time being, Javier. A lot of work goes into the Monga Minute. When I was in the UK and I had nothing to do, I spent 2 hours in the Monga Minute. I just don't have the time now. Right, Artolax. If Lado is too much, yeah. Is that, yeah, that's the one I just read out. Yeah, good. Right, Jesse, what are you saying now? French vanilla creamer, impossible to find in Thailand. Also, Butterfinger can be changing. Okay, I don't know. I mean, I'll introduce you to a few places when you come here, Jesse, because you can pretty much get it. I mean, if it's a kind of branded to the States, I mean, I've seen Hershey chocolate here. We don't have that in the UK. That's an American thing, isn't it? But you can get Hershey chocolate here. Paul Hoskins, you can get crumpets everywhere. Paul Villas do crumpets. There's a guy who sells them online. You get 6 crumpets for 99 baht. How good is that? And I like crumpets. I eat crumpet. Everybody who's non-UK, what's a crumpet? It's a round thing. It's got holes in it. It's kind of like bread, but it's got egg in it, and they're great. Lovely. Right, Jess, I'm talking the International Delight or similar brand liquid cream. Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't want to seem like an e-beggar. Tonto says, our subscribers to bring some stuff out you miss Oni. I had a very nice guy actually came out, and we'd not arranged anything, and he wanted to meet me, and he just picked the wrong time. It was one of the weeks when I had some filming going on with Mark. I was backed up with 2 videos I had to edit. It was getting close to the live stream, so I had, making the thumbnails and stuff like that. It all takes time. And he kept asking me, said, "Oh, can I meet you? Can I meet you here?" And I was like, "Look, I'm not doing this in purpose. Honestly, I just haven't got the time today." And I'd finish about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night on the PC. And when you've been on a PC editing all day, the last thing you want to do is go out and walk. You just want to relax, watch Netflix, have a beer, and that's how I relax. And but when he left, I felt so guilty. He sent me a message, and he says, "Oh, it's a shame we couldn't meet. No problem. I'll catch you next time." He said, "But I bought you out 2 Brute deodorants." He said, "I was staying in this hotel, and the hotel was literally around the corner, two streets away." He said, "I've left them at reception for you." So I thought, well, I'll go and have a look, because I was out anyway. Went round then. Yeah, there was a bag with my name on it. Opened up, there was 2 cans of Brute. And I wrote back to him. I said, "Look, I'm really sorry I couldn't meet up with you. I got you 2 cans of Brute." And he wrote back, he says, "Next time you do a Marley, spray that stuff all over yourself." He said, "She won't be able to resist." So, yeah, I mean, I don't like to ask people for stuff. I do occasionally. People I know well, I ask. Like sometimes when Damien comes out, I'll ask him to bring me out a couple of bottles of deodorant because they're not cheap in the UK. I asked Nick, the guy I'm going to meet tomorrow, but he only carries hand luggage onto the plane. He doesn't have a suit. You can't carry liquids now onto an aircraft. You can only carry them if you put them in a suitcase. But I don't want to go on a stream and say, "Oh, please bring me out this, bring me out that," because I'll get such a bad reputation. Paul Hoskins, fish fingers. Paul, you get fish fingers here. I eat them regular. I buy them from Villa, 10 Captain Birdseye codfish fingers. I had the whole box the other day. So much for the diet. I didn't know fish had fingers, Paul, did you? Right. Real Deal TV. Hey, Peter, when your passport expires, can you renew it while you're in Thailand? Absolutely. Good question. And I'll tell you exactly how to do it. What you do is, because Simon's just gone through this process. This is UK. I guess it's the same for most people. So what you do is you go online, and I'm just thinking of something else I want to tell you, but I better forget it. So you go online and you register that you want a new passport, and they'll make an appointment for you, and you have to go to the Trendy building on Soy 13. That's where the Red Lion pub is, Breakers. They've got all the visa agents in there and everything. It's just Soy 13, literally just over here. And they've got a... It's not the British Embassy. I just found out the other day there is still a British Embassy here. That's what I was going to tell you. I'll tell you where it is. It's a consulate office. So what you do is you go online, you apply for your passport. They'll send you an email back saying, right, make an appointment. You come to the Trendy building at this time on this date. You go along there. They give you a little bit of an interview, look at some documents, maybe your old passport. Yep, no problem. Within 2 weeks, you go back there and you pick up your new passport. And I know this because it's just happened to Simon. But the British Embassy used to be on Wireless Road, and it's gone now. It's long gone. A beautiful old colonial building, and it's in beautiful guarding grounds, and the lease was up or something, gone. And as far as I knew, there was no more British Embassy here in Bangkok. There was a consulate in the Trendy building. And I had this kind of friendly argument with Jason, a guy who's just moved out here. And he was like, "There is a British Embassy." I said, "There's not, Jason. It closed down. It was on Wireless Road." He says, "There is." And I was like, "It's not." And he says, "I've just been to it." And I'm like, "No, you haven't." And actually, he was wanting to prove me wrong. The following day on, because he had to go back, not just for this, and he took a picture. It said British Embassy, and it's down near a BTS station called St. Louis. So that's where the proper British Embassy is. Right, Bangkok dangerous. If it seems too good to be true, run. Yeah, run for the hills. X-free lunch. Good being old. The bars don't even look up from the phone. Do you know what? I went out with a friend one night, and he's not a bad looking guy, but he's like me. He's getting on. He's not got one foot in the grave, but I think he's 66, and he's seen a girl in a bar. She's probably about 28, 30, and he wanted to buy her a drink, and she just turned around to me. She said, I don't date old guys, or don't go with old guys." It was like, well, you don't want it. I've got money, and she didn't want to know. Being too choosy now. Toby Price, can you get all Farang food from Expat Foods sent to your house? You can get everything sent to your apartment from everywhere. I mean, where I live, there's a big majority of Farang live here, but there's a lot of Thai families live in, Thai couples and stuff. And every time I go downstairs, there's a Grab motorbike with a plastic bag full of different containers of food everywhere. You can order from absolutely everywhere now. So that's the problem. It's too easy now. Right, Paul. My Thai girlfriend is going to charge us 3,000 baht, which she says is half price. All right. Right, Jess, Bangkok Dangerous, Toby, I get it all. Jess, young Thai women go to Colston Road to meet foreigners. Colston Road is a good place to meet some Thai women, maybe. Yeah, but the thing is, there's a kind of twist in that, Jesse, because you're a fairly young guy, aren't you? You know, most of us are old dinosaurs, 50, 60 plus. So I don't think we're going to score very well in Carlson Road. But you are right. A lot of the younger Thai girls who want to meet foreign guys, for fun, as it were, they're normal girls and they just want to go out and drink, dance, and maybe have some fun with some young foreign guys. They head down to Carlson Road. That's what's all happening. But I went down there about 6 months ago with Simon. I couldn't stand it. The loud is not a good enough word to say how loud the music is down there. I mean, we literally could not have a conversation, even shouting. It was one of those places where you have to shout into somebody's ear and your ear actually tingles when they that's not my sort of place, Okay. Yeah. Kungs. Bangkok Dangerous. Kungs on Soy Lenki is fabulous. Really good. Really good. Yeah, a lot of people saying about Kungs now. If you haven't been to Kungs, guys, you've got to go there for breakfast. It is the business. There's a lot of places do good breakfast. I mean, people are like Cheap Charlie's. When I first went down there, when I got back here in when did I go out there? In October. You got to go to Cheap Charlie's, and I went there and had a breakfast. It was all right. That's it. It was all right. And then I had one in where was the other place I went to? Witherspoons. It's not Weatherspoons, it's Witherspoons. Okay, and their breakfast is good, no complaints. Sailor Bar on Soya, they do a good breakfast, but nothing to write home about. And then I'll tell you where does do a very good breakfast, but believe it or not, and that's a bar called the Time Bar in LK Metro, opposite the Billabong Bar. You'd think, bar, they're not going to do great breakfast. You go there, they do a fabulous breakfast, really good breakfast. Okay, but their second place, really the best restaurant in town by any means, I think everybody will agree, Kungs. You just can't beat it. It's fantastic, especially when you've had a heavy night on the drink and you wake up and you don't know what day it is, and you're still seeing double, and get down and get one of those greasy breakfasts. What a way to start the day. Right, Errol Palmer. Hi Peter, sorry, coming soon. It's rather long. We'd rather I get into two parts. The problem is, Errol, about stories, if you put it into two parts, I can't read it out, because if I read a story part one and then I don't read part two on that day, people won't be able to relate to it. So what I would suggest is kind of try and condense it into one longer story. It can be about 8 pages if it's Arial Front 14, but I don't like receiving stories in like, what this is part one and this is part two and I'll send you part 3 next week, because it just gets really confusing for me. The good news is, if you're one of these guys who likes a story on a Saturday mornings, I started to regurgitate the older stories because I'd literally run out, and people said to me, "Why do you make them up?" And I was like, I don't make up the stories. Unlike a few I know now, there's a new guy started up, and people keep writing to me and say, "This guy's stealing your stories." Let him get on with it. Wait till he's just about to monetize, and I'll get him chucked off YouTube. No, I mean, I've been very lucky now, because I've had a lot of new stories coming over the last couple of weeks. So the stories next Saturday, should be okay for 3 weeks. Hopefully, I'll get some more in. George Brooks. I'm a large guy myself. Have you ever gone to a tailor for custom-made shirts, pants, etc.? Yeah, I did when I went here. I like these. I like the pants, as you call them. We call them trousers in the UK. I like a little bit of elastic in the backs where you've got a little bit of movement. I don't want to be a solid waistband, just a little bit, because I just find them more comfortable. And I went to an Indian tailor on Sukhumvit, and I just feel like I was being ripped off. I don't know. They kind of treated me like I was a tourist, and they said like, I think they said 2,000-3,000 baht for a pair of trousers. And I showed them my driving licenses, my Thai driving license. I said, look, guy, I intend to make some shirts. I'm not a tourist. Here's my driving license. Give me a decent price. And he was like, oh well, okay, we can do it for 1A. And I'm like, so there's excellent tailors here, but you've got to get one that's recommended to you, and they make everything. They make whatever you want. They make trousers or pants, as you call them, suits, shirts, and they are damn good tailors, but sometimes a lot of them, they try it on. You just got to get one who's recommended to you. At the moment, I don't actually know one, because I haven't really gone into it, but I'd like to get some stuff. I haven't had to get anything made at the moment, but I guess one day I will have to. Mr. Balding, Peter, was your bike from Decathlon? Yeah, it was, and I did a 1 minute short on it. And what I'm planning to do, I think the part work, because I didn't realize so many people were into cycling, so I bought a thing that sits on my handlebars that I can put my phone. If I turn it up like that, I'm going to do a cycle around the park and just show you where what's there. You know, if you're not into biking, you won't like it, right? But I thought I'd wheel the bike to the park, the track, and just show you, because it's a beautiful park, you know. Andrew says, I never went to Kung's for breakfast. I went to Cheap Charlie's. Maybe I'm a Cheap Charlie. Kung's is not particularly expensive. It's not like you go to Cheap Charlie's and it's dirt cheap, and you go to Kung's and it's really, really expensive. You should go, Andrew. You know, I mean, it's probably, you're talking pennies, the difference. But Kung's is the difference. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about anywhere, okay? But let me just say, Andrew, if you go to Kung's, you won't go to anywhere else. I can guarantee it. Right, real dirty. But Andrew Hammond, I hit up Cheap Charlie's a few times. All the food was great. Yeah, I haven't slated them. They do some good food. I go there, I normally have like a roast, and it's really good. Okay, but as far as breakfast goes, I just think Kung's is a better breakfast. That's just my personal opinion. You know, it won't be for everybody. Naughty Boy says, I don't mind a bit of crumpet myself. Okay, let's get these on again for the latecomers. Where are we? There we go. Okay. Right. Richard Harris, try Taylor on 10. George Brooks, it's at the end of Sukhumvit Soy 8. Okay, all right, Taylor on 10. Do you know what really puts me off is when you walk past an Indian tailor shop and they're trying to hustle you into the shop. That's, as soon as somebody does that to me, that puts me off. And the other thing is these guys who are selling these watches, you know, I don't even say no, thank you. I don't want one anymore. I just look away and walk off. You know, it's like they hit you up like every 5 minutes you're walking down the street. I know people have got to make a living, and it doesn't irritate me. But what irritates me is when you say no, thank you, and they just keep on trying to sell it to you. Dave Bull, I just joined late. Hi, Peter. Did you see Ed Sweeney is going to drink 1 month, take the next one off? That will be a tough one. Good luck to him. I never watch him now. I never watch him since he had that rant, that video where he said he didn't want anything to do with any other YouTubers. I stopped watching him. You know, he made it very clear there. So I'm not really interested to watch any of his videos. Right, Atrolax, have thinking writing some stories, but not know where to start and how to write it. To people going to understand my broken English. Yeah, that can be a problem. Sometimes I can't read. I just can't read them stories out, because what happens, I'll get guys from, say, Holland, Sweden, or France, wherever, and they write them in English, but it's so bad that I literally have to rewrite it, and it'll take me an hour or 2 hours. I just haven't got the time. So unless you can get somebody who can, you know, write it for you, I pretty much wouldn't bother. I mean, I appreciate it, but it's just, I look at it and I start reading it. I think I just can't. I just don't have the time, you know. I literally have to read the story and try and think of the way you're saying it. So yeah, yours. Kung's breakfast start at 129 baht. Well, that's very reasonable, isn't it? If you can't afford that, you shouldn't be in Thailand. Absolutely, 129 baht. What's that? It's like £3, right? DLVR driver. Do you wear neon spandex when you're cycling around the park? Do you know what? I don't, but you know, I was talking to a guy who does cycling regularly, and he was the one who not taught me into, but suggested getting the bike, because I said to him, I want to get fit, and he was like, well, you want to get on a bike because, you know, it's really gets your heart going, and there's not any stress on your joints really. And he said to me, you want to get spandex shorts. I was like, for God's, I said, can you see me, a 63-year-old guy in bright luminous yellow spandex shorts going around the park? I said, I look like a clown. And he says, no, where? He said, I wear them, but I wear them underneath my regular shorts. And I was like, well, what's the point? And he said, because you get a rash. And apparently these, I know I get you joking and all the rest of it. I mean, I can see myself in some spandex and you know, some back to front, you know, my chest shaved, you know, I can just see it now. But he reckons it stops the rashes that you get. But I've done it. I've cheated. I've done it the poor man's way. What I've done, I've gone back to Lotus and I bought another seat, because the seats are like that on bicycles, and you know, they really got the nether regions. So I've gone back to Decathlon and I bought another seat, which cost me 300 baht, and it's about twice as wide, so a lot better now. I've nearly finished this. Look. All right. Yeah, okay. So Taylor on 10 is Canadian, no hassle. Oh, he's Canadian. Okay, great. He's called Taylor on 10, but he's at this end of Soy 8, you say. All right, I'll go around there and have a look. Dave Bull, Indian suit guys in Krabi are way worse than Bangkok. They're totally rude. Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't been to Krabi for years. the Wu-Tang Life. What is the average price of slim fit suit? I don't actually know now. And again, it really depends on several factors. One, it depends on the material you choose, and that's another scam. I've heard about you go into some of these tailors and you pick the material, and what they do, they say, no problem, sir, pay for it now, we'll deliver it to your hotel. And you think, wow, what a service. Like, yeah, how long are you here for? Me, it'll be here the day tomorrow. You pay the guy and the suits turn up and you think, great. And when you look at it, it's a completely different material. It's a cheaper material. And they're like, no, that's the material you paid. We quote, and you can't, what can you do? You walk into an Indian tailor shop and there's 3 of them there. And they're like, well, no, that's what you picked. That's what you paid for. What can you do? Right. My advice is ask for a little bit of the material off. If you go into a tailor shop and you pay and you have to wait and you're going to get them delivered or you're going to go back, just ask them for a sample of the material. You can't get out of it then, right? But I don't know the price of suits at the moment. Bangkok Dangerous. Raja Fashions is an Indian tailor, but they never stand out front. That's a sign they're good because they don't need to troll for business. Yeah, they're the worst, the ones that try and grab you. In fact, there's one, when I walk out from Soi 10 and I walk down, so occasionally I take the BTS, and there's a tailor shop just before the escalators at Nana, and the guy's always standing there. And I must have passed him now for the last year, on average 3-4 times a week. And he asks me every time I go by. And I said to the guy the other day, I said, look, how many times have you seen me? Yes, I see many times, sir. I said, I'm never going to buy a suit, okay? Stop asking me, please. And he's like, cheap prices, gee, still carried on. So, yeah. Right, Richard Harris. They're best avoided if you stand outside pestering people. Yeah, I've got a golden rule in life, and that's if I want to buy something, I only buy it if I go out and look for it. So if I think, I want to buy a watch, and I go into a shop and I look at the watch, I think I like that one, I like the price, I'm going to buy that, then I'll buy it. But if somebody comes to me and says, look, I've got all these watches, they're cheap, do you want to buy one? I just won't buy it simply because I've been approached. Danny Ruby, what's the maximum regional age difference with a girl in your opinion? Well, there's a bit of a golden rule out here. Not a golden rule, but the general rule to go by is half your age plus 7. So let's make it easy numbers. Say you're 50, half of your age is 25, add 7, it means 32. So it realistically, you shouldn't really be looking for a girl as a serious girlfriend any younger than 32 because you're 50. A guy who's 60, half your age 30, add 7, 37. So you're a 60-year-old guy, you've got a 37-year-old girlfriend. Because, if you go think about it really, if you're a 50-year-old guy and you start dating a 22-year-old girl, you go out to dinner, what are you going to talk about? You're starting about your pension and your income and politics and the future of the world. And she's looking at Korean K-pop and she's like, what do you think of this boys band? It's just silly, isn't it? If you're talking about serious relationships. So I think that's quite a good way to guide ages, half your age plus 7. Yes, Lafayette has spandex is for everybody. Right. Paul Hoskins said lots of talcum powder when riding the bike. I tell you, Paul, since I got the bigger seat, it's been brilliant. Yeah, yours plenty get those rashes in Thailand, not always from a bicycle. Mr. Dan, Peter, if there are changes to the broccoli laws in Kingdom, will it affect your mate's business? Well, it's already affecting him to a point where prices have dropped because everything started off high, but it's starting to level out now. So it will still be a maintainable business that will make good profits for everybody, but they're never going to reverse that law, because a lot of the people who made them laws are in that business themselves. And businesses change all the time, don't they? You just have to adapt with it. Bangkok Dangerous, Daniel, the age difference for me is 32 years. Okay. Half your age plus 7. Richard Williams, what I've just said, same thing. Is my internet bad or yours? Don't start all that again. Okay. No strings. Yeah, I tell you what, when I do that, I don't want to start playing about with cables now, but I think what I'm going to do for the member stream, because the connection's been playing up a little bit, I think I'm going to change the connection because I've got one of these joiners. I'm on an ethnic cable. I've got so many cables here. These, where you can put lots of USBs in. And I've got one slot left on the right-hand side of my PC here, but I don't like using it because it kind of gets in the way. But I think for the members stream tonight, I'm going to swap it over and put it here because I can't be having all this interruption with the stream, Right. Yours again. Yeah, I agree about these two guys in Krabi. They all know I'm not a tourist now, so leave me alone, as I sometimes pretend I want 5 suits to wind them up. Yeah. I mean, if I found a decent Indian tailor who's not gonna rip me off, then I'd probably go there and order a couple of pairs of trousers. Because there are occasions, me, for instance, uh, nowadays, like when I used to come here on holiday, I always wore I went out, I always wear like socks, trainers, pretty decent polo like this and shorts and that. But now, because I live here, I kind of dress like the Thais do up to a point. If I'm going out for the evening, like the other night, I went out with a friend of mine called Tom. We wanted to go to Oscars on Store 11, a bit of an upmarket cocktail bar. So I walked for the first time since I've been here. I put on long trousers and a decent shirt, and we couldn't get in because it was full. But generally, I just wear shorts now and t-shirts and stuff, just very, very casual. Richard, Danny Ruby, I really think that was in more than the Tiger woman is likely only for the money. Yeah, they're not all bad guys. They're not all bad. Javier, right. How you doing, Javier? Another two great places in Pattaya for a decent breakfast, the Sportsman's Pub restaurant and the Hideaway in Soy Bacal 15. Yeah, I had a breakfast in Soy 15. It was okay. Okay, that's where Kev used to do his vlogs from, the Hideaway. They had one of the famous pool players there. Yeah, the owner's a real nice guy. I spoke to him a couple of times. He probably wouldn't remember me because I know who I am, but I've had, I've gone up and spoke to him a couple of times. He's a nice enough guy. I had a breakfast there. It was okay, yeah. SM Zen, surely age is not paramount within reason if it's all about connection. You're right, but there has to be a point when age is a major factor, like the example I gave you. If a 6-year-old's dating a 22-year-old, she's not going to be interested in what he's interested in, vice versa, right? And how long does the bedroom activities excite you for? That's going to wear off, isn't it? Right, Perbet, the famous place near Landmark Hotel. Their clientele include U.S. presidents. They were 17 years ago. Okay, right. I think another place. I mean, it's quite nice inside, isn't it? Really nice. I'm not reading that out. Bangkok dangerous. All that Paul Hoskins. Right. Okay. Daniel says I had a golden rule: never go below 40. Obviously, I broke the rule. 35. Not sure if that's a good idea. It happens, doesn't it? What can you do? It's not how it works. Like you say, if there's a connection there. Kelly Harner, when I was in Cuba, it was half your age plus 12 seemed to work. 12's, yeah, well, this is Thailand. 12 is a bit kind of, the Wu-Tong Life. If you want a Hooters girl, just be straight up. Don't woo them or wine or dine them. It's about short time, not. That's the thing with the Hooters girls. I remember, I've told this story on the channel before. I remember about 3 years ago, there used to be a Hooters on Ceylon. Okay, it's gone now. It's near Patpong. There was a Hooters there, and I went there one day, and I recognized one of the girls. She was a go-go bar from Nana, and she used to go off on short times every night. They do. And she was in there, and she came up to her, and I was like, "Oh, you're here now. You're in Hooters." She was like, "Don't tell anybody you see me in." I won't mention the bar, but she says, "Oh, please don't tell anybody that I used to work in that bar." I'm not going to tell anybody anything, but you don't know what their backgrounds are, do you? Right. No strings variable. Don't worry too much. I'll sort it out for the member stream in about how long is that? 25 minutes. I'll replay. I'm really disappointed with my connection. I think it's something to do with these cables, not the internet, because I've got fast connection. Right. Yeah. I also have BJ. And I read your comment today on one of the stories, I think it was. He says, "Cheers, Peter. Finally pulled the trigger on a Pattaya apartment, Wongamat." Yeah, that's Wongamat is North Pattaya, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's North Pattaya. Yeah, well done to you. Better to stay away from the main part of, where the main part of Pattaya, where all the bars are in the middle. You can always go there for a night out, but it's better not to live there. Right. Richard Harris says, "My Thai girlfriend is 51. Okay, well, they look great at 51, some of them. Phil T says, "Is there a passenger ferry from Pattaya to Hua Hin?" There used to be a ferry that went across the Gulf of Thailand, because it's like a horseshoe. Pattaya's here and Hua Hin's on the other side, and it used to go across. And it was, if I remember rightly, it was 1,200 baht for a seat across, and if you went to the VIP section upstairs, it was 1,400 baht. It closed down because of COVID, went out of business, they shut it down. And I'd read somewhere that they were opening it up again one day a week. Now I don't know if that's happening. I haven't if anybody knows or been on it lately, let us know. Right, Andrew Hammond. I think I'll spend some time bar finding the Mama Sands next time in Pattaya. I'll be like, grab a granny night. They should be paying you then, Andrew. It's like what you call a mercy, you know what. Dave Bill, would you wear long trousers much at all? Can't at all with the heat. You get trousers that are very thin. I like these, they call them cargo trousers in the UK. They're very thin material, but they look like pretty good trousers, a bit like chinos. But they've always got a side pocket that zips. And I like to put my wallet and my apartment keys in that zipped pocket, because it doesn't matter where you end up, legs in the air or whatever. You're going to, you know, put your feet up in the bar. They're not going to slide out your, not that I put my feet on bars, but it's just if it's under a zipped pocket, you know, they're safe. Okay. Right. Richard Harris says, Buddies is excellent for breakfast in Bangkok. Not been to Buddies. I tell you what, I did a little short. I'll tell you where I was surprised. The Red Lion on Soy 13, which is underneath the trendy building. They're not cheap, but they're not overly expensive. They're kind of mid-range, but they do some great food. But if you get there before 1 o'clock, they do a breakfast for 129 baht. Now that's cheap for Bangkok, right? And what you get, I got a couple of fried eggs, beans, hash browns, one of those blood sausage things that I didn't eat. I got bacon, one streaky bacon, one back bacon, sausage, so quite mushrooms, a tomato. So it was quite a nice. It wasn't the biggest breakfast in the world, but it's good English breakfast, right? Plus toast, jam and margarine, plus tea or coffee. Now 129 baht in central Bangkok. That's a bloody good deal for an English breakfast. It really is. Because anywhere else you go, they're about 300. I haven't tried Buddies. Where is that? You see, when you live here, you can't be splashing out for 300 baht breakfasts. You know, I mean, you get some good deals in Pattaya. The price, you get a lot of money in Pattaya. Your money goes further. Prices are so much better in Pattaya than they are in Bangkok. But saying that, because I'm living here now, I have found places that are cheaper. You know, I've got a motorbike, so I go down all these soys. They're very long soys, and you do come across little bakeries and cafes that you'd never find if you didn't live here. Like, for instance, the one I always harp on about, the one on Soy Arab there, the Bangladesh boys who make the curry and stuff. You know, I mean, that's kind of just off Sukhumvit, but you wouldn't know it unless you were taken there or you come across it by accident. Have you eaten in Marley Brew and Pattaya? I haven't. I don't know that one, I'm afraid. Night train to the Paradise City on a night train. Wow, a lot of hopeless romantics in this chat. Okay. Dave Bill, I see some of the other YouTubers that make videos with their girlfriends, and it can be embarrassing, a father-daughter relationship with the way they interact. Yeah, and there are some of them, they do it. I mean, I can use the clickbait, can't I, with my thumbnails? I always put a pretty girl on the thumbnail, but I've learned from experience, you know, you put a picture of the Grand Palace on there, nobody clicks the video. You put a picture of a pretty girl in a bikini and people click on it. So we all do it. But yeah, I do feel that some of these guys who use their girlfriends for the thumbnails, they do tend to go overboard. There's one or two I can think of who, one guy in particular I can think of, he's got a very, very pretty girlfriend with a super body, and she's on nearly every thumbnail. She's either getting out of a swimming pool or getting into a swimming pool, and then, you know, you look at the thumbnail, you think, I'm clicking that, and I can see why he does it. But yeah, you know, I mean, I wouldn't introduce a girlfriend into my streams or videos, because if she's a nice girl, I just wouldn't expose her to this, because you just get so many shitty messages. At the beginning of this, before it came on, you can leave comments in here before I'm even here, and there was one guy left 4 messages. Oh, this old guy's finished, this YouTube channel's down the pan, he hasn't got any more stories, just slating me off, and it was all in capital letters like a big Karen, you know. So that's why you got to be careful with you know, when you bring your girlfriend into something like that. Okay. Real DTV, it was really $249, but the owner said take 8,000 Thai baht. Okay, not sure what that's about. Bangkok Dangerous. The funny thing is, I had a girl in my office start work that I've seen in Angel Witch a few years before. Let's just say she didn't show up for work the next day. Well, it's a loss of face, isn't it? I've got to get these in because we're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there, so get these in for the music. Right, Jess, a few final comments before we go. I'd say the general idea, pretty accurate for me. 35, she's 24. Yeah, okay, not bad. I've met Jesse's girlfriend, very beautiful girl, very nice girl. Daniel, age is a number up to a certain point. Also depends if the girl is mature or if she still thinks she's a teenager. Okay. I remember my mother, when she was 70, oh, she says, age is just a number. It doesn't mean anything. Then she got dementia about 6 months later, and she was asking, who are you? And I walked in the house. Yeah, I'm not sure if I agree with that, Steve. You said, my golden rule for finding a girlfriend, she has to speak fluent English. That kind of gets me thinking. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll explain that tomorrow when I meet you. No, good idea for breakfast on Soy 13. My hotel on Soy 15 charges 400 baht for breakfast. My daughters are coming here in November, and I've booked a room for them, like a twin room. Okay, I'm not going to tell you where the hotel is for obvious reasons, but I just went in there the other day because I had to book another night. I got the dates wrong, so I went in there and I paid a couple of $1,000 baht cash because they did. So I just paid a couple thousand, and I seen there's I didn't pay for breakfast for the room, okay, because I thought, well, it's going to be expensive, and I looked at the sign on the window for breakfast. It said breakfast 399 baht. Well, if I went there for breakfast with them, I'm looking at 1,200 baht, okay. So I know loads of places around here. I mean, it's still going to be a bit pricey. I'll probably end up paying 500-600 baht for breakfast, but 400 baht for breakfast. I mean, what the hell are they serving? The problem is a lot of these businesses, if you're a foreigner, they just automatically think you're a mug and they can get whatever they want out of you. It's a shame, really. Right, a couple more. Let's do a couple more comments. Go right down to the latest ones. We're nearly there, guys. I'm going to have to chip off in a minute because I've got the member stream in minutes. I've got a couple of competitions in the member stream tonight. I've got what were voted the 5 top jokes in the UK. So I'll read them out, see if you think they're funny. Mac Crow Dost, the holistic. Right, I'll put that up because I don't really know him. The holistic trainer. He was a big cash FX, a crypto trading scam. Okay, all right. Okay, we shall talk tomorrow, Steve. We shall talk tomorrow. Hugh Jass, I've also been to a tailor on 10, great price. Okay, well, I will remember that, and I will go and visit them because I wouldn't mind getting some trousers made up, or pants for the Americans. Okay, guys, so that's it. It's coming up to 10:30 here in Bangkok. I've got a great member stream coming up in 15 minutes. I've got 2 competitions. I've got the Ladyboy competition. I've got Spot the Real Thai Woman. I've got the top 5 jokes as voted by people in the UK. I dare say we'll be messing about with some other stuff. Okay, that's in 15 minutes. Thanks to everybody tonight. And if you're into the member stream later on, it'll be good to see you.